Okay, we are all welcome to today's live stream. I remain my humble self. This is Dasaro, the most handsome, yakable Africanicious, adrenaline pumping, and physical power husband. And as usual, I have beside me my most scintillating, pepperoni, sugarlicious, hot baby girl.
Good day, everyone. You are welcome to the live stream today. It's an opportunity, it's a privilege, to have you here joining us every time. I'm Joket Oluwanisetro, and today we are considering something that is very, very, I can just say,
You're already doing it now because normally when you do like you smell cookies.
yes, yes.
In life.
No, let's not forget why we are always having the stream.
Okay.
For this consecutive 7 days, we are having this stream because of what is happening at the Central Foundation physical hub. We're trying to raise to sustain the hub so that we can still be able to reach out to more youth in training them. We're trying to raise the rent for the hub, and we are just left with about 600 and something. So we want to say thank you to all that have been part of helping this faithful cause, sending in your 1 cent, $1, $100, $1,000. We are so grateful.
So let's go to the report of today. In today's discussion, we shall be looking at the global economy. That's how they pronounce it here in Africa. We are going to be looking at the global economy, and you know that you can never talk about the global economy till you start mentioning some big organic waste countries. And today we are looking at smelling some cookies in China. You know, with that being said, some of us, I'm expecting some persons to jump right into the studio to participate with us live, to join us live in the studio. So I shall be typing the link
Yes.
To join us live, join us live in the studio to discuss about what is going on in China
And how it's affecting
and
the
how it's impacting the world.
world. Yes.
Join us live in the studio through this link. So if you are there and you would like to join us in the studio, that's the link for you there. So we are all welcome to today's live stream. And because the whole world is no longer operating in silos, we work together collectively. What happens in China, in America, in Iran, in Kuwait, in Kumasi, in Ghana, in Togo, in Nigeria, Nigeria, whatever happens anywhere affect what happens everywhere, and that is why. And that is why, yes, you can imagine what is happening in Russia. Even the price of tomato in my own country has been impacted because they will tell you there is war in Russia, as if it's in Russia that they are planting the tomatoes. But you know what? China has been known to be one of the world's biggest economy, one of the world's biggest economy. At least you cannot mention about 3 countries in the world without mentioning China. And they happen to operate a level of secrecy or secrecy, or secremanto. They operated in a high level of secrecy. Sorry. Yes. They operate in a high level of secrecy in which they try to prevent whatever is happening in their country. They try to shield it away from the whole world.
Yes.
Just like we have the big brother also doing that. America is organ for that. America can cover every bad story that is happening there. So they paint the whole world that, oh, this is the angelic country, as if corruption is not there. Whereas even in heaven, Satan almost corrupted more than half of the angels. So with that being said, China is going through some challenging moments now, of which one of that, okay, I'll be spending time to just itemize some of the challenges that is going on in China that we wish that there could be timely solutions to that, because as we all know, anything that happens in China really is going to affect the whole world, because the whole world now, almost all the countries of the world, they are having their production made from China. What you now have,
Jeez.
okay, Jim is here. What you have around the world is you have your food is made in China, your planes are made in China, your iPhones are made in China, even your wife sometimes can be made in China. If care is not taken, your children can be made in China. So almost everything in this world. The funny stuff is that when I know that, for example, my country is in trouble, is when I saw chewing stick. When I saw is it chewing stick? Stick.
Yeah,
It's chewing stick now. When I saw chewing stick and they wrote made in China, I just held my head. I said, what? So very soon, some dreams are going to be made in China.
yeah,
So with
yeah.
that being said, presently China is going through some level of lockdown. China is
Yes.
China is going through some level of lockdown, which majority of the people do not know of, or maybe we just decided not to be aware of. China is going through some level of drought now, to the extent that their power sector is highly depleted, up to the point that their main dam has gone so low
Low.
down, world record low down, that they now have to discover an ancient what's it called, an ancient imagery beneath the water. I think you should just Google whatever I'm saying here out, find it out so that you see more of that. Then also you have the big there's this real estate problem in
Country
China.
garden.
The country garden,
Their
that is
biggest
the largest
property.
property development company in China, called Country Gardens Homes. Presently, they just
And now
recorded
90.
about 96% drop in their profit, meaning that they made about 4%. Oh my goodness. They were only able to retain about 4% of their previous profit. That is something. Warren Buffett has started selling about 1.3 million of his shares in China.
China.
Does that smell
Just on the Warren Buffett thing, real quick. Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all of them started selling a long time ago. They've been knowing when the peak is. You see, because they control everything. So they selling is an indication. Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
whoa, whoa. So if we begin to look at these indices and coupled with the fact that they are also having energy crisis, the only saving grace has been the only saving grace has been the war in between what's this country, Russia and Ukraine. That was how they've been able to do what? To be able to buy cheap fuel,
Concession.
cheap oil from Russia to what? To take care of their needs. But I tell you, as we speak, the reports are coming out that they are recording a more as in challenging power supply there,
Yes.
which also means that at this particular point in time, I was also made to understand that Russia was also like trying to service their oil production, whatever system or what have you. So that means that they're going to have a shortfall in supply to the rest of the world, or to those that are still purchasing from them. So China is somehow in a deep or close to a deep mess. What does that connote to the rest of the world that have moved all their production
To China.
down to China? How do we feel? So if you are there online, kindly
Okay,
join.
let's talk about that in logic. So, manufacturing has been sold out of America because they know they hold the technical edge. Even though they're good, we're going to give you all this beautiful stuff and our technology they call it, which is not theirs because knowledge is free. Um, the point being is that if you ship off jobs out of America and you put low labor people in charge of manufacturing and becoming what we call globalized. In other words, you have to have this understanding that, like, well, they're saying to us that everything needs to be manufactured from this place because you know why? It economically works to our advantage, that we can make the most profit and continue to do what we need to do, which is what they call consumerism. Consumerism is what drives the economy. And unfortunately, houses are not meant to be speculated on. They're meant to be lived in, and so there is a huge disconnect, a cognitive dissonance, where the understanding of what wealth is means you're successful, and this can draw people in, and then they become like a dog eat dog world where they don't care about how I give back. They don't. They just keep moving forward. They take, and this is what you're talking about. So, I mean, that's exact. And like you said, when Buffett sells, people are listening.
Hmm. Very, very true. Very true. Now, can we now, we've just looked at it from one side. Can we also look at it from the other side of benefiting from this diving economy? Because
Yes,
I
yes,
want, I want to
yes,
believe that.
and because the American system is going to collapse, and somebody's going to have to take over. So yes, there is a benefit, but who is going to benefit from it?
Hmm. Okay, the question now is who is going to benefit from it, because every investment comes with high risk, especially investment that comes with high returns, high possibility of returns should also come with some level of high risk. So the question now is who is going to be benefiting from it. Then we should also have it at the back of our mind that if people are going to benefit from it, that means that the best time to key into such stocks, such nosediving challenges or nosediving economy, or please borrow me some English to use here,
Yes.
is the time that they get to the bottom. But how do we know when they will get to the bottom of this nosediving? Because for me, for the real estate to have 96%
Percent.
drop in profit, that is
They
dangerous.
said it's due to the depression.
Well, let's just talk about what's dangerous about housing and speculation. Is what somebody says a house is worth is because, oh, well, look, somebody's going to pay that. So a house is worth what somebody will pay. But honestly, it becomes overvalued at a certain point. There's no way that the house I live in, built in 1932 with 547 square interior feet, a total of 890 square cubic feet on the floor plan, with an empty lot next to it. Here in Laguna Beach, yes, with an ocean view, is going for $1.6 million. The house, just
Did
this
you,
1930, and the lot. So the house is not worth anything. The
did
point
you say
is
one
the
point? Wait, did you just say,
$1.6 million. The house that I'm renting is
let
being
me,
sold for one. It's not being sold. There's a lady
I
trying
can't
to.
find my calculator. I'm confused with that level of amount of money you are mentioning. $1.6 million. Did I get it
For
correctly?
That is correct. This house was bought for $1.6 million,
Do you know how much that
and
is in Nigeria, Naira?
um, just a couple
That's
pennies, I'm sure.
that's 1.04 billion.
Naira.
My goodness. Wow.
For just one house, and just think how much I pay in rent. What
Do you know that?
type
No,
type in what? But type in 3,100. Let's bring this down a notch. Type in 3,100. How much is that in that?
3,100.
So she's getting $3,100 a month for this house right now.
uh,
$3,100 per month. That's
31.
Right.
No, this is not 3100.
no, this is 31 3100.
00.
Yes, now 3,100. That's $3,100. That is 2.015 million
Per month.
per month.
I mean, folks, just everybody just doesn't get this currency thing. I just don't understand. The value of what we are paying here for is so over speculated on and so overvalued that it is going to it's inevitable. It's not going to
This is
last.
a,
But anyway,
this is a 1 year rent.
One and a half
This
for
is
some persons. Two
oh
M.
no. This one
One
and
and
a
a
half
half
years
years.
rent
That's 18 months.
for this
yeah, I
foundation.
pay 3,100 a month
Per
every
month.
month. a month. I have to
Chief,
pay
you say you're not
3,100.
even paying a month?
Yeah,
A month.
$3,100 a month.
My goodness.
This is the foundation's rent for
Now listen
18
to this,
months.
guys. This listen to that. If you total up 3,100 and times it by 12, just think that the $2,000 an American pays the whole year. It's beyond it's so beyond levels of like understanding. Go ahead.
You know what?
Nigeria
Times
is actually
when you
doing.
say times 12, when you say times 12, what you
We've
will have,
already.
no, this is per month now,
Okay.
times 12, what you are paying is 24 million,
24 points. 4.2
24.1,
million.
okay,
Right.
approximately.
And what would if you had that in your bank account right now, what could you do with that?
You're going to buy
What would I do with that? I
you're
could
going
buy
to
a house.
house, as in you pay instrumentally.
I could buy a house to, if I times it by two,
Yeah.
I will
Okay,
buy,
now let's
buy
just bring
a
this.
house.
Yeah. Yep.
I will,
Yeah, I know
if
what you
I,
do. Okay. Now listen to this. Just think about what they call the average price for a house in California is. Just give me somebody wants to buy a house right now.
Okay, how much?
how much is that?
$890,000. That's the minimum to buy.
To buy
Usually it's a yeah.
890.
So and
800
and
and
usually it's a 30-year mortgage. That's the average at 5.47% is the interest rate for a mortgage currently in the United States. Now, if you add up what the total cost is to pay for this, um, it's astronomical. It's
Jim,
like, oh my
wait.
gosh.
Jim, wait. This time
This type of
you
house
need
you want to
you need
buy?
to wait. See, if anybody is paying for a house for
800.
$89,000 there, this kind of money,
Will
we
buy
buy
you.
we buy this kind of a building times how many? Let's divide by
Let's divide by.
let's say even 50 million.
Let's say we're honest. Let's say with all the equipment, let's say 75 million or 80 million.
Wow, nobody can
You can
buy
buy
this
this one.
75.
Okay, let's say 50 million
50
or
me,
60,
let's say
60.
60, let's say even, my goodness, let's even say 60. Oh my goodness,
It's going
you
to get you
buy
nine,
9.6
like
houses,
this
like
foundation's
you will
house.
have.
And to think about it, these people will willingly volunteer for a 30-year mortgage and pay the interest rate on top of it.
Hey,
It's amazing to me that they'll think that they have more than they can spend. It's constantly that mentality in America where they're like, well, yeah, I'm in debt, but I'm just going to keep going forward and
now i
just do it.
understand Now I understand why our black brothers and sisters are stuck in the United States,
yes,
because if they are
because
paying
if they're paying
if they are
this
paying
much
rent, 1 month rent
for $2,000,
for $2,000,
that's which
which
is
is
12
one year,
calendar months
12
here.
calendar month
Yeah,
year.
and they're just hiding out, just taking it easy, living the good life, right?
Anyway, I will say, oh my goodness, I will say, with that kind of money, if they have 10 houses here in Nigeria, it will
They're going
give
to be
them
really
it will give
making.
them good money to live their life,
Yes.
even if they
Right,
don't want
right.
even
And
if they
the
don't
money
want to
that
work in
and
their
it's
life.
and it's community based. In other words, like these guys are rich enough to handle losing a little bit. Like, okay, you have to slide a couple months on your rent. They can handle that stuff. They have insurance built into these things. There's reasons why rich people get rich, and the reason why they continually get rich is because they have a lot of money, and they're not afraid to take on some of the people that have a moral value that understand what you're trying to do will be responsive, but there's not going to be, in other words, the
Same.
market, it says, you know what I
But
mean?
let me ask you this question. If the rent per, I almost said per annum, if the rent, my brain can't process it that you are paying that much per
No,
month.
but is that what
if
Jim is
if the
saying?
rent, yes, now, if the rent you are paying per annum is like, for example, this $3,100.
Are you going to ask if I get anything out of it from the 3,100 every month?
What I'm saying is that, does how much of a percentage goes to your government?
Okay, that is a very good question because there is a thing where in California where I live, these people pay the highest property tax in the world. California is the most expensive place in the world to live. Um, I would say if you make over $500,000 a year, you're paying close to 60% in taxes. They're gonna get you if you're in an $18 million house. You're paying. Look, that's why they brag here about, oh, the top 1% pays the majority of the taxes. It's because they want to keep it that way. They don't want you to think that the rich are bad. No, no, no. They want you to think, oh, look at them. The top 1%, they're so great. I mean, and we could go into philanthropy on this subject, but we're not going to touch that. But I see exactly what you're saying. Do you get what I'm saying?
You know why I'm talking this way. I My wife was walking along our road at a particular time, nearby neighborhood. Sometimes she saw what the government was taking per houses in this neighborhood as like a tax or something like that. 700,000 naira. And we screamed that, because it was a new thing.
Yes.
We've not been seeing such before. We're like, what? How will house owner be paying 700,000 naira per annum?
Annum.
Because
After
in the
building
long
your
run,
house.
it will be
Right.
the tenant
It's
that
the
will
tenants,
cough out
the money.
those money. So that's why
Just
I'm
like where I
asking
went
you.
out today. This thing, it's actually the end users, it's the consumers that pay for it. I was to board a bike. So, and the bike fee was
I would like to simplify something really quick about taxes, real quick. Just let me put it this way. Okay, so let's say you own a car. Here in California, you have to pay an extra $1 in taxes for every gallon of gas you get. So just that alone. So California has the highest gas price. It's around $6, right around $6 right now a gallon. Um, it can be higher if you go out to the rich areas because they gouge those people constantly. But the point being is about the gas. Oh, you pay taxes for a $1, a surtax. Before the price is even set. Here's the dollar on top of it, and then you get to go drive around in your car, which has to be registered. Well, every time you pay your registration fee, you have to pay taxes, and you go to the shop to get the oil change done. Guess what? You got to pay taxes on that. Yeah, it's like taxation, taxation, tax. And guess what? You could buy a car, pay tax on it, and then you got the car, you own it, but you have to sell it to somebody else. Guess what? Both of them have to pay taxes on it.
But you
but
know
you
what?
know what?
The angle I want to come from now, with all these taxes that you guys are paying,
You are seeing,
relatively, you are
yes, seeing
seeing
the
some benefit. But
benefits.
the question, that's not the question I even want to ask
Oh,
now.
that's what the old claim is. The claim is that we're getting better. The claim is
Okay.
we're getting better. You know what I think was happening is if you come to LA right now, I think it's getting worse.
Whoa.
Um, I don't think that it's getting better. I pay a very close attention to the stock market. I'm not saying I never put a penny in the stock market my whole life, but I listen. I want to be open minded enough to know what's going on. We just had Joe Biden speak last night here in America, which, if you did not see the speech, he said that the MAGA people, make America great again, which means Donald Trump, uh, are semi fascist. So that's like half of the population of the United States. So it's just not looking good here. I understand that you have it worse, but the 1929 collapse that happened here in America will look like nothing when this one happens because they have taken so much off the top, and there's so much greed and corruption that it's going to spill over way harder than the 1929 one.
But you know, the other aspect I want to mention now is that if you guys are paying this much taxes and blah blah blah, and your production has been shifted to
to
China,
China.
so
Yeah, yeah,
what
because you see, that's interesting because certain states here in California has a income tax on your labor. So you go to a job, you go to Florida, you know what? You don't have to pay income tax. Can you believe it? So certain states have different things. It's not every state that does that. So you have to understand that. But California is the fifth largest economy in the world.
So now the question is this: how, if your productions,
All your base are
majority of your
your base
productions
are
are
in
shifted to
China
China,
already.
then
Easily,
what?
easily, that's easily answered by keeping the technological edge over your opponent on a competitive side and making sure you control all the lanes, trade with all the shipping, so that any ship that comes from any country is controlled and monitored by you. It's simple. It's what the English did when they expanded their world across the whole world. They have the largest navy. That's what they call it admiral law. There's a lot of discussion on this, folks. These people own the trade routes.
Okay, that means you are coming closer to where I want you to get to. Like, I'm pushing you to the wall now. So this is the question I'm asking you at the edge of the wall. You said is somehow favorable to you guys, and most of the time I discover that Americans are always very very fast to stand up to analyze the trend in China with respect to whatever is going on there. But
Yeah,
do you guys know that based on the analysis I just listed out here, I just mentioned this evening, even America is sitting on the keg
Keg
of
of gunpowder
gunpowder,
because
because
China
if
is
anything happens to China, America, that has all its production done there,
yeah.
is
There's a
like,
lot of this scare with the semiconductors, and Taiwan produces all of those. And yeah, American consumers, I guess we use a lot of them. Bottom line is, why wouldn't they want to keep making them here? Well, this let me give you a quick example. Because they keep sending out the new technology to China, so you guys do the work, and we got all the what they call overwrite. We own the intellectual property rights. You see, you have to buy a license from us to use this, even though you guys made it. We get to make the most money still.
okay, okay, that's making sense. But what about some place like Canada, where they open
Well,
up their forest, all the places in Canada where even
yeah.
the citizens cannot
Okay,
stay? They're now
Canada's like now. Canada's like when you're in a two-story or three-story apartment, and the people down below you are having a party, and the people above you are looking down like, oh, I want to go to that party. Canada does not get it. By the way, they have a leader that is dedicated to kind of socializing their country. I don't want to dismiss Canada anyway. I think what they have a very low population. I don't think they're a significant. Yes, they have a lot of raw sources. They have shale. They have, the lifeblood of their country is basically their lumber. Um, so, yeah, I don't think they have much to bring to the table, though. So Canada is interesting because that's a subject that, like, I would like to talk more about.
And no, you know, the angle I'm looking at it from is like the model Canada seems to be building is such that
they are
um,
opening their
they are
borders
opening their borders
Oh
to
yeah,
to
the
those
Chinese have
citizens.
bought up all the real estate in Ontario, Toronto. Um, they just went in and just completely ravaged they jacked up the rent. They made they tried to because they had high internet speed there. It was a technological city. They had it all going on, but If you look at you, people can look into this, but uh, China's moved into Canada big time. And just like anywhere else, if your country, like America, is giving up your secrets, we're going to learn how you made those secrets eventually, and we're going to actually be smarter than you. And China is actually smarter than America. A lot of people think that China's economy is going to collapse right now. But guess what? You know how many times America's economy has collapsed before China even got out of poverty? Think about it, folks. China just got out of poverty, and now they're a threat. Oh, well, oh, what they're a threat to is the U.S. dollar. It's called hegemony, oligarchy. These people, they don't want to lose their power. So what are they going to say? They're going to badmouth China in every aspect when their culture is the oldest, longest living culture on the planet. Uh, it's just weird how we demonize people that when it's a proletariat government controlling them that we take in the media here, like an offense to them. I just don't understand that part.
Okay, because I was about saying that because several analyses have been made about China. Even this, but this one I'm seeing tonight is mind blowing. But there seems to be like China has understudied the world economy. They've understudied their part, and before you know it, everything will just stabilize
It's
and come
again,
back
yes.
again, and they are having it the easy
They
way.
are very
Because
smart.
before you know it now, they will inject some billions into the economy, and everything will just be listen. So
Well,
that
what you're bringing up is that you supposedly China owns a lot of debt of American debt, right? And these are called derivatives in the stock market, where like the 2008 housing subprime collapse. Uh, yeah, China owns our debt, but is America going to honor the debt and pay China back? No way.
so in anyway, looking at this, I have good people all over me looking at this because if there is anything that can slow down economic growth, if there is anything that can bring down any economy, all the signs, all the telltale signs are written all over what is going on in China now. But the China that you and I know,
They're not going to come out
they
saying
are
any of
not
that.
going to let the world know the picture of this, just like the United States is also good at hiding. Jim, you know what I'm killing? Mo-
Skeeters.
Mosquitoes.
I got,
Mosquitoes.
I got, I'm in my what I call no fly zone right now. I have my screen above me. I actually went to Amazon today to go buy a mosquito net.
Mosqui-
Do you guys have mosquitoes
Mosquitoes
there?
there.
Oh yes, they're little tiny guys, but their sting lasts about a week. It's like a terrible scab too. It's not like the ones in Minnesota. When I was in Minnesota, they last a couple days, but now the sting, the bump lasts and irritates longer. I'm not happy about it. Um, they all, we don't need to go down the rabbit trail of like engineered mosquitoes, but let's leave it alone. We know where viruses come from, but let's just leave that alone.
Uh,
But I want to bring up a subject because you just hit on a really good target point for me to learn from. So your understanding of China is that they are a developing country, and if there was ever a competitor for the the world's economy to run through, like the dollar has been, in control of. If the yuan took over that, would you be in favor of that? Yes or no?
I didn't get that last part.
Okay. You know how the U.S. dollar is
Okay.
the dominant world currency traded for all free market trade, right?
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to use American dollars, right? If
Yes.
that was to switch and it went to the yuan, the Chinese yuan, would you think that's a better move for the
Oh,
world or a
hell.
worse move?
No. No. That would be the
What
worst
what
thing.
no, I don't know. It's a worse thing. I mean, tell me, is it worse or better?
That would be the worst mistake the world will
Okay,
ever
so
make.
you believe that the American dollar is the best
No,
way out of this? No? Okay,
no,
now give me your. Okay, I'm glad you,
Just
because I had to get there with you on this.
no.
just
That well, is
choosing the best
what's
between.
it called? Is to allow each economy
Yes.
to have their level of trade to be the determinant of their
Well,
exchange.
that means everybody has to. Let's say you have 193, 190 countries, right? Let's say all of them have their own currency. Let's just say that. Okay,
Yeah,
now you have to make them all equal, right? You have to make them fair trade between each other. Your dollar is worth my dollar, right? Yet there
no.
has to be an agree. No, no, you don't have to have that.
If you are doing that, you're already twigging, you're already playing with the law of economics. The law of economics is always behind producers.
Right,
Produce,
because the labor controls the actual
yes. So,
economy. See, that's
so
exactly what I
don't,
wanted you to get to. Okay, good.
don't do, don't do anything either in the secret or in the open that will be giving your currency edge above others,
Yes.
which is what
That's
some
right.
persons, and I don't want to
That's
mention,
right.
and I know
I
many
know
persons.
because the if the dollar fails, but if the dollar fails, what is the China's?
So, like a country in Africa that has enough of gold,
Yeah.
if that gold is required by more people in the world, then that country's currency should be what
Yes.
should be.
I
Yeah,
agree
but
with that.
you can't eat gold. You can't. Gold is like the old style, where like
Yeah,
I think the value of gold is really like once again speculation. I don't find it much valuable to me when actually people are in not having refrigerators
in
or
that
you
case, you are looking at raw gold. I'm not talking about raw gold. I'm talking about
oh
processed
oh
gold.
you
Processed
talk
gold.
about what? Talk about what kind of gold?
Processed gold. For example, a country that has gold should work on their gold, like using their gold. Imagine a country that is producing platinum, what's
Right.
it called, gold-plated phones, and they are taking it out for export. And compare it with another country that is just using normal steel for their this thing, for their production.
Production.
The two of them should the one that should command higher value should be the one that is what laced with gold. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not talking of raw gold, because if you are looking at raw gold, then it doesn't mean much. But if you are talking, because when you talk of one of the qualities of money is what it should have value. So if I'm holding
Well,
my phone,
I just don't think a mineral should hold value. I think the labor should hold value.
the labor that goes into the construction
Construction
of
of.
your, maybe it's an iPhone forever that is platinum
Well,
laced
I don't
platinum.
think gold builds a society. I don't think gold builds a. I think that the actual person that you are investing in, who's got skills with tools, or somebody who
It's
knows
not
how to
actually
make.
it's not actually gold that builds the society, but we are talking of, what we are talking of here is the demand. If the demand for gold is higher than any other product or what have you, then it should command value, because
Well, that
resource
there's only reason why gold is the demand for where it's at, and that's to. Well, 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. We have been on fiat currency since 1971. We've dumped the gold standard a long time ago. I just don't understand why you don't understand that. We don't. Gold here is sold in multiplication on paper, and it's speculated on. I don't see gold helping. Look, silver's just as important as gold is, and yet look at the price of silver.
now
Okay, you
moving.
get that one? Now do you get it? You're
I
putting a
don't.
ton of value on gold, but look how valuable silver is. My wedding
I'm
ring is silver, by the way.
okay. Now, if there is much demand for silver in an open market that is not regulated by, you just mentioned something about about the
Fiat
fiat money.
money.
Now, the fiat money has been one of the problem of the world to date. Why?
Yeah.
All these
Well,
economies of
because
the
you could just now that just gives the Federal Reserve here in America the right to print money whenever they see it.
and the same thing is happening in China.
Well, of course they can do that. They're following the model of what they've been taught. In other words, I think the big picture you have to see here is that China knows how to play the game. They've been under suppression from them for a long time. They're going to actually flip the table on them. And look, you think America's got 300 something million people and you got a billion? I'm sorry, your labor force is just way outdoes you. And China can build a hospital in 17 days. America, you have to go through red tape, take you 2 years, and you have to go through an EPA environmental consulting firm that would take you 2 years in court. It's just China just knows how to cut through red tape.
That's serious. Okay. With that being said,
I
I
just don't
just
think I just don't think you should be undermining China
no, not at
because
all.
okay, because they do understand that they were impoverished. As far as impoverished people go, I know for a fact after Mao Zedong, a lot of people died. They came out of a really bad situation, and for up until 1971, until Nixon went over to China and said, "Hey guys, look, I'll take us off the gold standard if you guys do all our manufacturing." And that's all that happened. And thanks to Henry Kissinger, we got the deal done.
That Kissinger guy happens to be like one of the brain behind so many nasty things that we are seeing around the world today.
Oh, that's the guy they call the he was a student of the guess who's his student? His mentor, is this new guy called Klaus Schwab. He's doing the new reset. Well, that's Henry Kissinger's little trainee project. So it's not like Henry's going away or anything like that. So I mean, I can't believe the
So,
guy's still alive. It's amazing he's still alive. It's I mean, what are they doing to keep him alive is what I want to know.
but
Seriously, this guy's got to go.
now that we have China in this, the bottom line of our discussion tonight is just the fact that now that we have China at this edge now, I want to advise, especially the US, that is almost 80% or more relying on China to survive, to desist from praying negative prayer for China, because if China goes down, US goes down. If
Well,
China,
let's just yeah,
a lot of
let's just
countries will go down.
let's I
Take for example my own
if you
country.
if you're saying the world collapses because China goes down, are you saying that?
Definitely,
Okay. Okay. Let's
definitely.
look at
You know why?
from let's look
Because
at it. Let's look. Okay, go
look
ahead.
at ordinary Russia. Look at ordinary Russia and Ukraine.
Hmm.
Little challenge that is happening between ordinary Russia and Ukraine. America is already recording shortage of fuel, or whatever name you call it there.
Yes.
Shortage of gas. America is already experiencing increasing what's it called? Jacking up of interest, inflation. Inflation
Yes.
is already
High,
going up big
high,
Oh
time.
high, high.
yeah, yeah. Inflation. Oh, I heard about that. And guess what? At the same time, the American people gave $60 billion to Ukraine while the inflation went up. Just so you know.
So that means that you guys knows how to print money a lot. But when you say give, is it really give like that? That's what I try to
Well,
understand
no,
from all this.
it's fiat. It's like going up to a computer screen, just typing in a bunch of digits, and here you go. Go have fun with it.
So
It's not real money, and everybody knows it. So Yeah, and by the way, 72% of the money that's been tracked that went to Ukraine has not been found.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it sounds bad, but I didn't think Ukraine had a good rapport with me in the first place. I understood the Minsk agreement in 2014 between NATO and Russia. I've been following politics since I was a very young person. And as you can tell, I'm reiterant in my facts, and I will always be able to delegate what my position is. But NATO has provoked Russia, and because that will cause so-called sanctions, and then we're going to get into now Germany. Germany is going to have a gas crunch this winter. They are already looking at no. There is no more wood, chopped wood available, and people are out in the forest foraging for wood to make it through the winter. Uh, Folks, this is coming to you. It's coming to me. It's everywhere. I think the fortunate side of this is to know that people like Deo and Joke have sat around and said, I'm not saying they're saying this, but I'm saying in pretense that it's about damn time that the world kind of gets a little smack in the face and says, hey, look, enough of this. Let's rise up. Yeah, the ants are we're the ants, and yeah, they want to be able to just step on us with a boot, but we're not going to take it anymore. It is crumbling. The inflation has gone out of control here, and I would like to say if China goes down, that means America went down first.
Hmm. Now, if that, in short, I really do not want to picture that happening, because if the little that is happening in Ukraine and Russia
Sure.
is making the whole world to shake this way.
Yeah, but
What?
we live, our economy is not based on like your economy. Our economy is based on speculation, has a stock market. It pretty much corporations run the government. Governments are principalities, and everybody knows that. They are not here to look out for us. They are here to be overlording on us. They can provide tax as, and you say that our taxes are going to get us, better. Maybe we have better infrastructure. Maybe we have more like accommodations. But basically, at the bottom end of the structure, it's just built on a house of cards.
And that's dangerous, because like what happened in America some few years back, where your housing is a mortgage sector, your real estate sector crash landed. I know lots of people's life that were lost because of
Yep.
that
In
scenario.
2008, my buddy lost his house. I had
Hmm.
my mom went in. My mom had a big problem because she refinanced several times. Uh,
Oh.
there was, I would say, 30 maybe to 30 million people that were what they call underwater on their mortgage in
Hmm.
2008. So when that made it worse, I say about 15 million people lost their house in America between 2007 and 2009. And the
Oh.
homeless population jumped up immediately, by the way. Depression across America drove up immediately. Suicide rates went up immediately. Finances in America is what they call it, making a living. This is the phrase that I cannot stand. Making a living. What? Making a living? I don't need to make, I need to live. I'm not going to make a living, through your principle of making that. I don't want that. I don't want you telling me how to make my living, and I don't want you tell me that's to be successful you have to make a living. I don't want that.
Hmm.
So the old system is a sense where monetary system is controlled through central banking. Everybody kind of knows this. They're not going to give up that power. They use the military to dictate the trade lanes, like I was bringing that up. But also, what is more important is that we understand that the stock market is where the guys go to make their money. These guys, these corporate oligarchs. They go in there and they can now buy their own stocks. Do you understand that? They could actually sell off at the high of their stock company and then buy it back if it dips down because they made so much profit at the top. They can buy it back, and guess what happens? It makes it surge again. It's called buybacks.
Mm.
Uh, you in the United States they removed what they call the Glass-Steagall Act. The Glass-Steagall Act had to do with what banks were allowed to do in the stock market. In other words, they weren't allowed to gamble. Well, the Glass-Steagall Act was removed, and once that happened, bam, you got what we call derivatives. We got gambling. It's called legalized betting on people that are going to fail. That's what it is. People that
Mm.
are going to fail, that's what they're betting on.
So that now brings me to this next question. Would you, as a person, prefer outright purchases versus
Can
when
you
as
repeat
compared
that?
to
Can you? You're echoing a little bit. Can you talk a little slower?
okay. What I'm saying is that as a person, will you prefer what is obtainable here in Africa, which is outright
Outright purchase
purchases,
of your home.
outright purchase of your
Yes, I
home,
would. I would. Yes, that's a yeah.
or
Absolutely
credit
yes.
purchase or finance by credit purchases? Which will
No,
you?
because you see, all they're gonna do once again is they're gonna find a way to cooperate and monopolize. I say no. I think it has to be a purely grassroots movement. I may be wrong on this, by the way. I may be wrong because collectively we can come together and we can make a change. Yet that might not be enough. So I understand what you're saying with that. I feel that because of I'll give you an example here. I only have like a $60 electric bill. I have, a very small house, and I only run a couple lights, and I don't even have much running. My bill's like $67, right? Well, guess what happened in the last 5 months? Just take a guess how much it went up. 27%. And
Whoa,
I haven't changed my usage. I haven't done anything. It's
whoa,
like now I'm paying $83, right? So I don't get a voice on this. I don't get to say, stop raising my bill. What are you doing to me? They go say, oh, just go vote. Just go vote. There you go. That would change everything. Just, yeah. And guess what happens? Since I was born, I've never seen the price of a house or to rent it go down except one time in 2008. Other than that, I've never seen it happen in my lifetime. So if I see an economy that builds on, I call it speculation. By the way, folks, it is truly speculated on. They actually gamble on you not being able to pay your bill, and this is it's vampirish, and it happens commonly. There's also a thing called short selling, where like a whole bunch of people can gang up on a business that's doing really good, do me something positive, and they short the stock and cause it to crash. There's so much control given to the stock market that, like I said, the Glass-Steagall Act, 71 when Nixon took us off. We have the one hero. Okay, his name was Paul Warford. Um, Jimmy Carter had a 17% increase in inflation, and Paul Warford, he came in and he raised the interest rate 14%, and it just shut down the economy. Basically, said, "Look, get your act together." Now, in a word, in a sentence or a phrase, how that's described would be considered uh, pumping the brakes, right? Just stopping this insane consumerism, right? Because it gets, and the speculators, and if you remember Nixon's speech, why he took us off the gold standard was he mentioned the speculators. Now that's a giveaway. When you say, as in a government, oh, the speculators are ruining our gold. They're taking our hegemony away from us. So I guess we're giving up on that. And guess what? We go to fly over to Japan and say, hey, you guys do this work now. It's a transfer of wealth. It's a simple transfer of wealth. All they're doing is like pretty much it. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that China's in concert with America and saying, hey, I'll play along with this?
No, China is smarter than that.
Okay, okay, because I think they've been through a lot more. I remember doing some research. How the English created what they call the opiate war in China. They want to shut down. Like I said, you got the Dutch people making fabric. Well, you got this and that. You got all the. If there's somebody that's around that sees you making something that's good, somebody else will say, hey, I can exploit that. And gold is exploited. By the way, it's gambling, folks. Stocks is gambling. I listen to it every single day. I pay very close attention to my politics, my stocks. I pay very close attention. I have a routine, and being a part of the foundation here makes me feel so honorable to be able to say, hey guys, I'm learning when you learn, and we're going to learn together on this one. I also want to bring up one quick point. Can we switch subjects real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed on your website, cetrosfoundation.org, there's a button that says behind the scenes. And I don't know if that's cookie cutter for people that are there. You have 4 people with names. Are they actually people you know?
Okay. What names are those?
Go to your Cetros Foundation. I'll go to
Okay.
it right now. Hang on. Yeah, I put it in the chat too. I've been in the chat room, by the way. I went there this morning and put some more stuff in you guys' chat. But
I saw the Kuli Kuli
yeah,
link that was
okay,
sent. I
good.
went. There was an interview there.
Okay,
Li-
would you do me a favor and would you shout out to every single subscriber right now and say, would you please go there and get into that chat room so we can communicate and like bond or somehow just get our messages across and make some contacts network, something that provides us a little inspiration and confidence that we know we're not alone. It just, can you do that? Can you do that? Can you
Okay.
Okay, because we need more
Okay.
people. There's not a lot of people. I mean, we gotta get that message out. That get into the chat room, folks, because you see, interactiveness actually gets you stimulated. You get a feeling for where you understand. I understand where that person's come from. They understand where I'm coming from. So we can work together. Uh, it's not that hard.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Would you take that?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me just appreciate every one of our subscribers on this channel. Everyone that has been following up on us, following up with us in terms of what we do on this channel and the little efforts we are putting across to help empower some African youth by training them, paying for their training, buying them, starting their business instead of running out of the continent of Africa into Europe and Americas and like seeking for green pasture where actually where they are living is where their green pasture
Question.
are.
Okay,
So
so
we
it's the cetrofoundation.org and it's meet the team, and meet the team is under more. So you have Jordan
okay.
Parker, female. You have Taylor Quill, who's so you got program coordinator. You have a grant manager, and you have a board of chairman and a board coordinator.
No. All these,
Okay, it
all these
was
are
cookie
not
cutter.
listen.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I was
This
I
part
was
has
like,
not.
okay, I haven't met these people. I was like, I wrote a chat. I said, oh, you have 4 members. I'd like to meet them. Simple as that. Okay,
These
that's
are
good.
just
That's good.
yes.
All
So
right, I'm
I'll
happy about
probably
that. Okay, yes,
yeah,
please
yeah.
just remove the whole page. Don't make that like
Okay.
make because look, I'll go rabbit hole down. You know what I'm saying. I'm like, what? He didn't
Yeah.
tell me about Alex. He didn't tell me. I was like,
Oh, shit.
okay,
I know
that's not good.
Jojo.
you are going to be there. Dr. Joe is
You're
going to
going
be
to be
there.
there.
Auntie
Oh yeah.
for
No,
Ah,
I'm gonna be the actual like the guard dog. I'm gonna be always like "Rawr, rawr, rawr."
Nubin
Nubin
me is going
me.
to be there and
So,
this thing.
and I'm just,
Oh
Yes.
yeah, oh
And
yeah. Oh,
yes. So
yeah, thank you for bringing up. Guess what? Okay, so last night, we left. I'm gonna donate $100, right? And guess what? So my wife controls the finances, so I'm like, all right, just wait till the lady comes on. I wait till the lady comes on. I said, honey, I said, I want to give $100 to the Cetros because the rent is coming up and they need a little help. She goes, okay, look, you've been trying to get rid of those cameras for 6 months. Can I just sell them on YouTube and maybe get like 200 or 300, and we just donate that money? I was like, let me ask them. So that's what I want to do. I can't get them to you guys. We've been working on this for a long time. I think it's time to sell them and just give all the money that I get from the cameras to you guys. I think it will cover you. I think we'll get 500.
whoa. Whoa.
So, what do
no.
you think?
Whoa.
Do you think we should look? I tried so hard, guys. I'm giving up on it. I'm giving up on sending those cameras over there. We just had Joseph. He's not contacted me. I'm sorry. I've tried. I've done my best, but let's just look. My wife's really good on this Craigslist and this. She's really good at.
Okay.
And by the way,
Wow.
guess what? Guess what? My next door neighbor is a professional photographer, and I'm going to go over there and get an estimate from him. What's the lowest I could sell it for, and I'll come back and tell you.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you
thank you
so
so
very
very
Yes.
much.
much.
So I think this is a better option. I think it's a better option. She's like, stop putting your money on your credit card. I was like, right. She's right. I don't want to just stop putting because my thing is to bring our monthly bill down constantly. We've done so well since the kids went to college, of course, but it's gotten tight. Like we're still tight right now. We're not like we basically just think about it. 3,100 a month is about 60% of
That's
our
that's
That's
of our.
not too quick.
I know,
sad.
but by the way, folks, that's how it is
So how
in
many
America. Hey,
is it
in America, they have especially in Laguna
maybe
Beach, they have wait, in Laguna Beach, they have a phrase: "You pay for your sunset.
Hmm.
You pay for it.
Hmm.
You get to pay for that view," and that's speculation on top of it too.
You pay for your sunset. My
so
goodness.
how many
That's
bedroom
that's
duplexes?
just
Jim, how many bedroom duplex is your place?
I have 2 bedrooms. Hey, here,
Hi.
let me. No, let me. No, no, no. I can walk you through the
that's
Two
expensive.
bedroom, is it a duplex or a flat, or do you know how
No,
big?
it's a two bedroom flat. It's not a
It's
duplex.
not a duplex.
No.
Hey, Jim, it's
That
high time you bought a house in Nigeria. Jim, oh, we can't
we
hear
can't hear
you.
you.
No, it's high time you bought a house in Nigeria. As in,
You
maybe
can't
Lekki.
you can't relocate
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm
Please let
sorry.
him
Okay. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna start. Okay.
know.
I am in my back deck, and I have a little garage. Now we're gonna walk
Hmm.
around, and I'm gonna show you folks. I have a compost pile. I got some wood chips. Um, can we see the wood chips? Oh, you're seeing me. Why are you seeing me? I want you to see me. I gotta switch the camera view. Oh, that's what I have to do. Okay. Okay. So there's my wood chips. There's my car. I got some bikes, little garage, right? You see it all, right there.
Wow.
Okay. Once again, beautiful location. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. This house was built in 1932, folks. This house was built for the
Wow.
Olympians. Okay. So this is
Mhm.
very small. This is very small. This is the outside. So here's the bottom bedroom right down here. There's the top living room, and we have our little garden out in front, and the bottom has a little house. I mean door, separate door. So it's right there. Okay, it's beautiful. Look,
Wow.
look how beautiful it is. It just look, it's gorgeous. I I would not want to live. You know why I would sacrifice $3,100 a month is to live here. You know why? Because I feel good when I'm here, and I don't want to sacrifice myself. I have a little garden started. Uh, I got cucumbers over here and a hibiscus. And
Wow.
I got a lot. Oh, and I got my secondary compost pile over here. Um, as you can see, folks,
Wow.
I just walked around the complete house. Um, we're gonna go check in the inside. Here's the back deck, very small, only about 5 feet wide, right here.
Hmm.
Um, very small. We're going into the house. Very small. Jala's doing crafts today. She's been. Oh yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah, she's doing crafts. She made a little chunk. We've been working on this all day.
This is
Wow.
So
beautiful.
yeah, so Jala's been
Wow.
doing this.
That's
Jala's an
that's
artist.
great.
Look at all the artwork she leaves around. She's an artist.
Like my boss.
Yes.
Yes, small
She's just
kitchen,
like my first.
small. Look, this is it. This is my kitchen
Wow.
right here. My kitchen must be
Wow.
6 feet wide by 8 feet, maybe. I got a square of 6 by 8. That's my kitchen right there. Little living
Wow.
room, just a little living room. Can't use the fireplace because it's outlawed. Little deck up front, and once again that beautiful view. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just worth every penny to me. Like they said, you pay for your sunsets. I like the
Hmm.
vibration of being in that. I love the energy. This is the second bedroom down below where my son lives. And
Wow.
I got a little. And here's the bedroom. So, folks,
Wow.
$3,100,
Wow.
right?
Hmm.
3,100 bucks,
That's
3,100 a month, a
hmm.
month. I mean,
That's
folks,
Jim, if you pay that hair, the duplex is going to have, as in,
if not if you that's paying for a mansion.
yes,
That's a mansion
you're going
there
to have a
per
mansion, your
annum.
pool, and
oh,
you're
oh,
going to
oh,
even be
don't get me,
located at
yeah,
the Alibaba.
don't get me
Like,
started. Yeah. Oh, I know.
you're going to be
It's
banana.
just
As in,
what
Yes,
I
you're going
remember.
to
I
live.
remember.
that's like
So for you to pay that for a year,
that's
it
24
can live in
million.
banana island. As in.
Yeah.
But it's
So
worth
you are paying.
every to me. See, in America, you have to sacrifice what you want. But I will give up the comforts. I don't have an air conditioner. I don't have a washer and dryer. This house was built in 1932. There's no screens on the windows. Every night, I deal with cockroaches. I love it, and I'm not upset. I live in a great place. And you know what? When I hold down my light down here at this house and everything, I may have to move. Yes, I may have to move. Like I said, I'm a renter. But these are the places where I remember when Joke and Deo and Joke prayed for me to get a new house when I asked for a prayer. And I found this place, and I remember I honestly still to my you know it's a beautiful thing to know that other people are looking out for you, and that's what trying to build uh, through the youth, because you see the youth will see this as an energy, and that we can utilize this stuff. We don't necessarily have to all agree, but we can get along enough where we just keep promoting It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but it's people that work hardest are the ones that are the most successful, and that's where I would, like we said about success, but success is something that
Mm.
just don't
Game and
build.
peace.
Don't.
Yeah,
Oh, she here? Oh, okay. I'll drop out.
yeah. And she's talking to you. Says great family. Says greet his family. Say nice area, Jim, and nice art.
That art
Nice,
was really
beautiful.
Tell
nice.
him
Thank
to
you,
go.
Jim. Thank you, Jim,
Yeah.
for
Oh,
Yeah.
illustrating
thank
what.
you. By the way, I didn't get a chance to personally thank you. Thank you. You and your husband and your beautiful family have enriched other people's lives, and I just want to thank you.
Yes.
Well, I thank
Thank
the
you.
creator. I thank God that we were able to do it. And the funny thing is, you know how everything works out. So, now we are like carless, right? All of our cars is broke down, just everything broke down. But we're not upset. It's okay. Jah will
Mm.
provide. We got good mechanics and we got Uber here. So it's beautiful. It was such
Mm.
a blessed sacrifice that it's so amazing because you don't even think about it. I just give so much praises to the Most High that we were able to, and that we had the heart to say, let's just do this, regardless. And even though the enemy and other things are breaking down, we have faith. My family and I, we just feel so blessed that we were able to be a part of this. Yesterday's show with Dr. Ojo was so uber inspiring. And let me tell
Wasn't
you,
it? Wasn't that the
it
most
was
amazing?
he's
I mean,
so
can I? By the
educated.
way, if I'm not mistaken, he has double digit family
I
members.
heard
Like,
that. I heard that. Daddy
come on, folks.
118.
I mean, listen, you have 5 kids. Listen, you jumping into like crazy zone.
But you know
What?
what was interesting? What he said when he said that his parents, his father, never complained about the government, which was interesting because even in my country, from where my family's from, and my grandfather was in the government. No, complaining about the government sometimes is a death wish. You like trying to mess with
Mm.
something that you can't. And a lot of times we have to understand God put people in place. He even put even when he changed up Babylon and the story about Cyrus, you know what I'm saying? God picks leaders. And a lot of times leaders are a reflection of what's happening at the soul of the country. So that God's like, okay, this is the leader you deserve. Just like when King Saul, and then King David came around. So our hearts have to be ready for those leaders. But what y'all are doing, and what we are all doing all over the world, is laying those seed foundations, skills, education, experience, and development. This is what we call in our organization seed. We're laying down those seeds for good, proper crops, good integral crops. Like Joke was saying, the IQ, but the EQ is the most important thing. But can I tell you what something that I thought was so cute and so adorable when I was watching the video? Oh my God. Oh my goodness, Deo. Your wife love you, especially when you get nerderific with statistics. Oh my goodness. She love her little nerderific. I was like, oh, I know that because I like little handsome nerdies myself. You know what I'm saying? Like my husband is a little nerderific. He's so cute. He's so awkward, but he got like all kind of knowledge. You be like, where did that come from?
I heard cute and awkward is top on the sexy list.
And nerderific and smart and intelligent. So Dayo, you and your Queeno, man, you guys are cute and adorable. And you know what also shocked me? Man, sister, I didn't even understand that. I knew you're a designer, but when you started talking about the history of design, I said, no, this sister is a designer. Okay, she knows what she's talking about. She know, and making those purposeful partnerships as you speak and changing the atmosphere, changing because these babies are going to grow up. I've seen it.
Yep.
I've seen youth that
Mm.
have told me, oh, yeah, Emmanuel, thank you so much. I've had them in programs where they did we did a thing called blood culture, and it was like a whole poem that we did on the function of blood, and it goes cells regenerate with every O2 breath intake. It was like all this like scientific thing. So I've had students who I don't even remember. They come to me like looking like adults. They're like, "Thank you, Miss Nunu, so much. That
Wow.
text really, that song really helped me. I was doing the song during the test. Like, okay, arteries lead to
Wow.
blood vessels called capillaries. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Those are the feelings you get for paying some painful price.
Do you know the word of the girl from the east? There's this
Yeah.
lady from a young lady from the eastern part of Nigeria. Maybe you were there the first time.
Well, sir, internet
Game,
again.
game up me.
Our
Wow.
network
Are you still there?
coming forward.
Quit walking
The
around. Stay in one spot.
California.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I thought
I'll
this only happened in Africa.
Yeah,
So
she
you
nailed the
know,
she nailed the point though. She got down to the brass tacks there. Uh, when children are affected by inspiration, what we see is that the multiplication factor of growth and a child's creativity, it excels because once parents take that responsibility on and understand that you're giving to life. It's called procreation, by the way, folks. Procreators are people that understand that, yeah, you may be alive right now, and what's your purpose in life? Well, excuse me, sorry about that.
sorry.
Sorry.
um, um, your purpose is to, I honestly, just, this is me, just my, I believe I was meant to procreate. I was meant to have children. I believe that children are the way, the truth, and the light. And when I get to see a foundation like this, understand that principle, I'm all on. I'll go down with the Titanic on this one. Okay, so what do we want to do on the cameras? Newbie me. Tell me, should we sell the cameras and just give all the money from the cameras, or what do we do?
Oh, is no being still there?
Ah, she's not there. Well, I wanted her opinion. I think she's going to tell me to sell the cameras because I'm going to go over to my professional photographer. He's on vacation one more day. He'll be back tomorrow, but he's a professional photographer, my next door neighbor. He'll give me a good, honest valuation of it, and then I'll go put it up for half the price and just sell it. Just get rid of it.
Hmm.
And then I'll just go. I have the SendWave app, right? So I'll just SendWave it right to you. You remember that? Because
Thank you
SendWave is
so
so,
Yes,
very
yes,
much.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I still have the SendWave app. So when I send that money, I'll send it through SendWave. That way you get it right away, right?
Wow,
Is that correct? You get it?
that will be
Yes,
very well,
yes,
very
yes,
well.
yes.
Yeah. And folks, everybody who's listening, look up SendWave application on your phone and try to get it. It's 1% charge rate when they transfer. This is a beautiful foundation. It's basically a foundation. People need to get, I downloaded it and I transferred money to Deo and Choke, and it worked flawlessly. It was wonderful and secure. I mean, I felt comfortable knowing that I can come back and send more money down this pipeline. So that's how it goes.
Well, we really
Thank you so
appreciate
very
you.
much. And
There is something about no being me.
she
Whenever
comes with
there is this
this
aura
exuberant.
around her, I
She
wouldn't know how
makes
she
you.
does it. She's never, as in,
She's always vivacious.
she's never moody.
As in,
She comes with this aura of Jamaican swag. That's what we call it here. We call it
Yep.
swagalicious.
Bugalicious.
Yep.
And she.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I,
So
I
we
I
are
don't know if I brought this up to you guys, but yesterday I mentioned to you that I really am into reggae. Um, so all my kids have the first name Jah in it. So Jah Rastafari, right? So my firstborn is Elijah. Okay, so my firstborn is Elijah, right? My
Whoa,
secondborn, my secondborn, my sec, my secondborn is 7 years later. Her name is Jocelyn. Okay,
whoa.
okay. My thirdborn is a boy, and he's named Josun, after
Hmm,
the sun, the
hmm,
life.
hmm.
My fourth child is a girl. Her name is Seja. I always wanted to come up with a way to make people say the name Ja. I said,
Ah.
oh,
Hmm.
Seja. Okay, so Seja, and then on the last one, the wife said, "I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I
Whoa.
get to name this last one," and, and it's Jala, and her middle name is
Jada.
Sunshine. Yeah. And by the
Whoa.
way, Josson's middle name is Marley. So Josson Marley. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
What?
dedicated to the I'm dedicated to that side of like knowing my history and where the real roots. You know, a lot of people just don't know it, and we could talk about this later. But yeah,
Today has been
I
so
think
wonderful.
Game Man may say yes, higher Rastafari. I live, growing up, I lived with a neighbor that is a lover of Lucky Dube, Bob Marley. The first song, okay, even my dad plays a lot of Bob Marley.
Lucky Dube just played at the Rotterdam Sunsplash. I will put that link. And he gave a what they call an interview, questioning about his faith and everything. I'll put that in the chat room. See, folks, you see, this is about the chat thing. Yes, the site not be fully operational yet, and we're going to get there. But the point is, if there's something like a mentioning of Lucky Dube, well, let's bring this conversation and go look at it. We'll be able to contact and see each other's what we're posting. I think it's really important that we take advantage of that.
Hmm. I think I think we might be ending today's vlog with this one that says, "How long shall we kill our prophets?" I think my dad used to play that. No, Bimi, are you there?
Network.
We can hear you.
Network.
No, no,
Sorry,
Bimi.
guys.
Okay, you're back with us. We have you now.
Where did you leave off with? Oh, she dropped. Darn
Oh,
it.
it's gone back again. I think we really appreciate everyone tonight. It's been a very interesting live stream. Just like we said it before, we are trying to do a 7 day consistent back-to-back live stream so that we can generate funds to pay for the training space that we
And
set
you
up
got a
for.
fit. What's you got a 15-day extension. So when do you have to come up? When's the last day? If they're going to kick you out, well, when would that be? We have to. In other words, that our deadline is what date to have that paid by?
Today is the 2nd of September, so we have 13 more days to go.
13 days to pay
13 days.
off for one more year, right? You get one more year if you do it, right?
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay, and
please.
the total on the Cetros Foundation is what again?
Um, the total as at yesterday, based on your what's it called, Dr. Joe.
Yeah, and
Uh,
if I put the 100 and sell on the
on,
cameras, right, it would
yes.
be what? It'd be 1550,
Uh,
1546.
if you do what?
If I do the 100 on the credit card, it would be 1546. But if I sell
Yeah,
the cameras, it could be $200 or $300. But the
level
point is,
11.4.
you're at what are you at right now?
What we have is
Is it plus your
el-
own and Dr. Joe's own?
1144 plus 200.
Okay.
11
11
1144
plus 2.
plus 200. That will give us 11. It will give us 1344.
1344 minus 2000.
1344. Okay.
So we'll be left with
656.
mm,
656.
uh,
Okay.
outstanding.
All right, I gotta sell these cameras quick. I think I'm just gonna sell them, guys. I'm just gonna do an executive order on that. I'm sick and tired of trying to get them to you. I look bad by not getting them to you, and I'm sick and tired of looking bad on that aspect. So I'm going to just make an executive order. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make some action happen, and that's what it's all about. We have newbie me setting the ways, showing us that $700 is basically half of what I put in as a Patreon, and I am just shocked that somebody said, "Hey, look, you know what? I'm so invested that I'm going to do this amount." I mean, that blew me away. So we got to make a we're gonna get this done. It's not gonna look. Move on to the next project. You got the place. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get it done. I guarantee.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so very much,
No be
Mr.
me.
Jim. No be me, Dr. Joe, Madam Claudia, Mommy Sweet 16, Auntie 54, Kim Perez. Dr. Jim, we've been looking for one of our very good uh,
Friend.
friend, Kim Perez. She's in Alaska.
Alaska.
And the
We've not been hearing from her. She told us she was going to the and she loves this Makoko youth so well. She
Yeah,
has
I
had
know. She made a
partners.
lot of involvement in the beginning, but she dropped out. I'm hoping she's gonna be back around.
We don't know where she is. We've been trying to reach her.
I hope everything is
She's
good in
well with
Alaska.
how is Alaska?
As far as Alaska goes, okay, let's just put it in context. Uh, she is kind of like a wilderness person. It's extremely difficult to actually put her in. When you're in a situation where I don't think she's a landlord or an owner of land. So I think she's on the move because of situations, and we're just going to pray for her, and that's all we can do. And we're just going to make a little special right here, and I'm praying for you right now, sister. Come on board. We want to hear from you.
Kim Perez, we miss you. We've been praying for you.
I believe
And
God strongly that everything go
be
well
well with
with her
her.
because she's just a
A blessing.
lovable soul.
So
And a great organizer too.
Yes.
Yes, she has great organization skills, which I don't have. I have the well, like some people say, a muse quality, where I like to like spark. I'm not the type of guy that goes, well, I can go dig in and grab information, and I'll find it. Hey, look, Cooley, grab them, call them, call Cooley, call them, say, hey, look, I got this guy on the internet that wants to talk to you, and come on board and let's talk about how you became a successful business. Just get an
Hmm.
interview with that, and we're good. We can get them on board, and I guarantee it. If they talk to me, I mean, I'm sure newbie me would chip in. I know that a lot of people that hey, look, if this, I just don't understand why we don't have. How many viewers do you have live right now?
Um, I think about how many now? About four.
See, that's just us three here and somebody else. This is not working. This is not helpful. We need more live viewers. So
yes.
we need content that says, hey, we know this company that's successful. And look, They're working with us. That shows that we're getting. I mean, just try to get that picture. You know what I'm trying to say? We
Yeah.
Yes.
it's yes. Okay.
God will help us to be the best at what we do. And at
You
this,
need you need promotion, and
yeah.
yes, you'll do your own self promotion, but you need help. And guess what? Your community is your backbone. You always have it. And guess what? This company is in Uganda. I said a different company, different place yesterday. I said Ghana, Ghana, Uganda. Sorry, I misspoke, but they're in Uganda. uh, I made my first purchase this morning. I get a nutritional supplement that, as a vegetarian, I take pretty much daily. Not every day, but I take moringa. I love
Mm,
moringa. Moringa is an antioxidant and is very good for your human body. Uh, and because I decided to change my dollar and buying from Americans that were selling it, I decided to change my dollar to the Africans that were making it and where the
mm,
source was. So I went to the source and said, "Oh, oh, by the way, I put a link up today to the PhD who sits on the board who convinced me to switch." So I put a link up on the community board. Guys, I'm in this community board. I'm active. I'm going to be there every day. Every day, I'm going to be posting a link. People, I know they're not listening, but because we don't have a lot of viewers. But the point is, if they listen after this, go check it
Yes.
out.
yeah. Yeah. So we at this point in time want to say thank you so very much, Jean. Thank you, Nubin Me,
Me
for
and everyone
keeping
that's been
hope
watching.
alive, and everyone that is watching, Dr. Joe. Um,
Despite Nubimi's needs, as in
hmm,
still coming out, even Jim, despite your needs, your rent that is so high and every other thing, you're still coming out.
that's
And I
serious.
want to believe all these sacrifices will never go unrewarded. We're going to have our rewards here and in eternity. The Lord bless
And we are
everyone.
going to see a lot of these
These
youths
youths, their lives will really be
standing
transformed.
out
Yes.
and just crying
Help.
that we touch their
Their
life when
lives
it really matters.
matters.
So we really appreciate everyone that has made this
Thank you,
foundation,
guys. Thank you so much.
and we appreciate your wife.
Help
That
us to say a big
Oh
thank you.
yeah, that was her
Your
idea.
daughter,
That was her.
you
That
said,
was her idea. So she said, "Why are you going to give $100 on a credit card? You're just going to pay interest on that." I went,
hmm,
"Oh yeah, you're right." I was
hmm,
like, "Why would I give my money to a credit card company? I just sell like cameras.
hmm.
I could get. I know I'm going to get $200 or $300 easily. I know it. But the point is, it's triple the amount. We're going to get close to. Uh, I got to get on top of it tonight. I gotta really. I'm gonna have to get on top of it tonight and sell them quickly because we don't have much time. We have like 13 days. So, folks, we're gonna do another show tomorrow, and we're gonna. And I'm just saying, I'm just so pumped. Look, thank you guys tonight. I'm gonna leave it with you guys and close off. And love you.
thank you so
Thank you
very
so
much,
very much.
Jim Bumpy and everyone. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you,
Bye
everyone. Bye
bye.
bye. Same time tomorrow.
Yes.